Alright, I'm gonna change the oil on my Articat 700 Super Duty Diesel. You're gonna hear a hum in the background. It's hot in South Texas and I got my air on. I'm gonna be referencing the service manual that I bought for it. Mine's 2014. I'm pretty sure most of these procedures, numbers, and all that stuff are gonna be the same from like a 2008 to a 2015, the years that they made them. Tools I got laid out, socket. I'm going to be using 8mm Allen key. If you don't have the socket type, regular one would be fine. That's going to be for the oil drain. Got this out because it gives a 18 foot-pounds torque for that plug. Just a screwdriver and a little prying piece for taking off the engine side panel, filter wrench, and then my light if I need it. Oil filter. This is the one that you'd get if you went to an Articat dealer. Lombardini, part number 3206-194. Bought these as some overstock from an Articat dealer that closed. I already took it out of the plastic. It comes with the plastic. Gaskets on there. And I'm going to use Rotella 15 weight 40. The manual recommends a 10 weight 40. I'm in South Texas. It's mostly warm, very warm. So I don't mind having a little bit heavier oil in there. Also, I buy this by the case. Big cases for my tractor, my truck, now for the ATV, for my diesel generator, all that stuff. So keeping it simple, and water so I could hydrate. Should go without saying, but you need a drain pan for your oil. And then I have this long funnel because, as you're about to see here in a little bit, the oil filler cap's kind of deep inside an access panel, so it'll help. Then I got a bunch of blue shop towel, paper towels for cleaning up oil because you know it's going to spill. Open up the service manual to page 2. Oil capacity with filter, 2.1 US quarts, or 2 liters. Recommended engine oil, like I said before, is a 10 weight 40. On page 6 of the manual is the periodic maintenance. Your engine oil and filter. The initial 300 miles of the machine is like your break-in period, and then it's every year or 1,250 miles. Surprised they don't do tell you about like hours either, but I guess every year is fine. First thing to do is open up the oil filler cap. It's the yellow with the little oil symbol on it down there. Got the cap off. Should have mentioned earlier, but get it up to running temperature so the oil is thinned up a little bit and it'll drain out a little bit easier. I put the funnel in there just to remind me the cap's not on and it's in place for when I need to put oil in. Next to the oil drain plug, got my 8mm here on the ratchet. As you can see, I came on the right hand side of the machine. You look up and there's a little hole in the plastic here. You can see it. That's your oil drain. Alright, got my drain pan in place. If you're so inclined, use some gloves. I mean, I'm not wrenching every day. I don't really care about getting oil myself. Whew, it's still warm. She goes draining out. Alright, that's going to keep dripping for a little while. As you can see on the drain plug, there's a little brass washer. Don't lose it. Don't damage it. You'll have to get another one. That acts kind of as an extra gasket to prevent leaks and stuff. To remove the right side engine cover. That's this cover right here. And it's got these weird, they're like, I can't even record them that well, but they're like weird body panel. It's like a Phillips screw driver. And I'm gonna take the seat off. All right, these little things don't come off very easy. I've done this a few times before, putting in here. I don't know if I said you needed a screwdriver on my little tool list at the beginning, but I think it was laying in my line of tools. So if you end up damaging these, getting them out to the point where they can't really be used anymore, you can go to the auto parts store and find them in the help section. Sometimes they won't thread out and you got to just sort of yank the panel off, like this one. Doesn't really seem like it wants to come out, so put the screwdriver and what came out down. Using a little pry tool. These are underneath too. These are little like pop rivets. Just get underneath and pull them out. Not supposed to come all the way out, but again, these are sort of like disposable things. So if you end up destroying them, go find an assortment of them at the auto parts store. I actually bought that one came out pretty good. I bought a huge assortment of them for other stuff that I do on my trucks and everything from eBay. Where I find the piece here. Here's what I got out so far. See if I can do all this one-handed. See, that one was stubborn, didn't want to come out. Just yank it. The other one with the screw. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this over by the tire. Get the rest of my pieces here. And that white thing right there is your oil filter. All right, I don't have the best fit for the filter wrench, and I don't know how long this has been on here for, so I'm hoping it's not going to give me too much of a problem coming off, and kind of imagining this thing's going to make a god-awful mess, just going to drip all the way down. So I just moved the drain pan, and I'm going to hope for the best. Oh, it's moving. Cool. Looks like there's a Wix filter, which is from O'Reilly's, sells it. Part number, I think, 557207. If you're smart, you'd find a way to cross-reference anyway. But there we go, a little more information. Loose enough. Get it off by hand here. Yeah, there goes the oil. Dripping down. Looks like most of the oil made its way down to the plastic skid pan, where at the beginning we showed the little access to the oil drain. So if your pan is still in that spot, it should catch most of it. Take my little shop towels, I'm gonna clean it up. Make sure the surface is in good shape. I'll do my best to clean up some of the oil, but it'll just burn off. All right, I'm getting ready to put the new filter on. Normally when I do my truck and stuff, I'll fill the filter, but because this one's sideways, obviously all that's gonna pour out. So I opened up the oil here, and I'm going to put a good coat of it all the way around this gasket. I don't know how long it's been sitting on there. Hopefully it's good. All right. Come on, Walker. Where's that freaking trigger discipline? All right, putting a new filter in. It says on the filter itself, hand tighten only, which is a little different than inside the book, which says until contact and then 3/4 of a turn. I don't know what the hell contact means, but I'll take this, and as tight as I can get it with my hands is where I'm going to leave it at. All right, it's good to go. Gotta put your drain plug back in now. I'm still gonna leave the drain pan there, even though it's a little bit in the way, just because all that oil that came down from the filter is still dripping. Kind of a pain in the ass, but I haven't found a vehicle yet where it's really good to go with when you take the filter off, not making a big old mess. But got my 8mm socket set back up and put it in there hand tight for now. 18 inch-pounds, as you were, 18 foot-pounds. Got it untightened, and that is according to the manual. Okay. Come on now. Get that out of the way. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm ready to put the oil back in. It gave me over here. I marked it at 2 liters. So. Back on the table. See where we're at. Okay, a little bit more to go. You want to make sure you're not pouring it too fast in there, because just a little ways under where the filler cap is, sorry, you can't see very well in there, the funnel isn't going very far, and this oil's thick and it's not warm, so I suppose it couldn't go down all the way and you end up spilling some of the oil out. So let's be conservative with that. All right, that's pretty darn close. So now I'm gonna put the filler cap back on, start her up. Just put that snug. And then now what we're gonna do, according to the book, I haven't really been coming back and referencing this just because I'm telling you. But right here, we gotta turn the engine on and wait approximately 3 minutes. So basically you're bringing it up to temperature again to get the oil and everything to move through. I mean, just like any other vehicle that you're gonna be doing. When you take the seat off, that little yellow triangle, that's your oil dipstick. While that's doing its 3-minute idle, I'm gonna go take the old filter and throw it in my oily waste and put it in my waste oil while that's done. 3 minutes. First thing I'm gonna do, just after shutting it off, is just look quick for any leaks. It's gonna be a little bit hard to tell because it just dripped oil all over the pan, but I guess as it's sitting here for a while, you want to look. All right, so your oil level, it's a little sticky. It's got 2 gaskets on it, so you gotta get it out. All right. And I'm gonna wipe it off first. Actually looks like it might be a little bit low. I didn't put quite enough in. Make sure it was all the way in there. I waited like 2 or 3 minutes for the oil to settle out. So it's like, it's hard to tell, but it's like a third of the way up. So I could probably put a little bit more oil in there, but the instructions say, you know, if it's between these 2 tick marks that you're good to go. I like to sort of be topped off, so I'm going to add a little bit more oil just to make myself feel better. Okay. Yeah, see, I added just a little bit, and it's right in the middle. So I'm just going to do a dab more and call it good. All right, finished topping the oil off, and realized I forgot. I always write the year and month, the hours, and the miles when I change the filter. I also usually write it on a piece of tape or something and stick it somewhere on the machine that I could reference in case I can't see this, because it's easy to remember and I like to keep track of my maintenance. All right, just finished up. When you're putting these back in, if you had to go get new ones or whatever, I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. Put them in the hole so it lines up, and then you just push the head of the pin down. And then the screw one, same idea, but instead of pushing the pin, you put the screw in. If all you got is push pin ones, I'm sure they'll work on here too, but those tend to break if you don't have an easy way to get at them. They make all kinds of special tools, but it is what it is on these. Put your seat back on, make sure this is covered up, and yeah, ready to rip. Talked earlier about how I like to take like a little piece of tape and write when I did my last service for all my machines. This little spot right underneath the seat where the owner's manual is. That's where I'm gonna write something when I do my transmission and stuff like that. I'll add the services here. All right, make sure the oil and everything's topped off one more time. I'm gonna go run her up and down and put a few miles on going up and down the county roads, and then come back and check for leaks, stuff like that, make sure she gets hot. But yeah, changing the oil on this thing is very, very simple. I expected it to be harder considering it's a Kohler motor that they made fit inside the machine, but did a good job. Shit, if I wasn't recording this video, it probably would have taken me 15 minutes to do this. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Here's a full overview of what it says in the owner's manual, if you wanted to read it, see it yourself.